Hello everyone, welcome to How-FixIT. If your iPhone is not working and you suspect a faulty logic board, you're in the right place. In this video guide, I'll show you how to replace the logic board in an iPhone 16 Pro Max and restore its full functionality. Before starting, let's review the tools required for this repair. A screwdriver set, tweezers, plastic pry tools, a suction cup, a screen disassembly tool, essential for easing the separation of the screen from the device, and waterproof adhesive tape. I've provided links to all tools and replacement parts in the video description below. For the best results, I advise using a magnetic mat to organize screws and small parts throughout the disassembly process, especially for repairing a device like an iPhone 16 Pro Max. This will make the reassembly much easier, and you don't have to worry about the screws getting lost. They will all securely adhere to the magnetic mat. Now, let's get started. Start by pressing and holding the volume up and power buttons to turn off your iPhone. Remove the two screws located near the charging port. Use a hairdryer to warm the back glass for about a minute until it's warm to the touch. If you have a heat gun, set it to 90 degrees Celsius. This temperature is safe for the glass and will soften the adhesive. Place a suction cup near the bottom edge of the back glass, then gently lift. Insert a blade edge into the small gap between the chassis and the glass to carefully separate the adhesive and create a gap for inserting a plastic tool. Heat each edge of the back glass as you work around it, and don't insert your tool deeper than 3 mm to avoid damaging internal components. Remember, a well-warmed surface is the key to successful back glass removal. Ensure the surface stays warm as you work around the edges. This helps make adhesive removal easier. At the top of the back glass, two metal hinges hold it to the chassis. When opening this area, use a pry tool to gently slide the back glass down, releasing it from these hinges. Carefully lift the back glass, being mindful of the table attached to the logic board. Remove the screws securing the battery and back glass connector covers. Using a plastic spudger, disconnect the battery and back glass cables. Remove the screws securing the ear speaker and remove it. Disconnect cables and remove the Face ID module. Two display cables are connected to the back of the motherboard. To safely remove the motherboard without damaging these cables, first remove the display. Use a hairdryer to gently heat the bottom edge of the iPhone for around 1 minute until the screen is warm to the touch. If you're using a heat gun, set it to 80 degrees Celsius. This will soften the adhesive without risking screen damage. Place the suction cup near the bottom edge of the screen and gently pull it up. Insert the blade edge into the thin gap between the screen and the frame. Apply slow, steady pressure to separate the screen. If the screen is still difficult to lift, apply more heat and try again until you make a sufficient gap to insert a plastic spudger. Remember, a well-warmed screen is the key to successful display removal. Heat each edge of the screen as you work around it, and don't insert your tool deeper than 3 mm to avoid damaging internal components. 2 metal hinges secure the display at the top. When opening this area, use a pry tool to gently slide the display down to release it from these hinges. Carefully lift the screen, mindful of the cables connecting it to the main board. Remove the screws securing the brackets over the front sensor and display connectors. Using a plastic spudger, disconnect the front sensor and display cables from the main board. Next, return to the motherboard area and take out the SIM card tray. Disconnect all cables from the logic board. Remove the 4 screws securing the logic board. Now, with nothing holding it in place, carefully pull the logic board out of the iPhone case. For your convenience, I've included a link to purchase a replacement logic board for the iPhone 16 Pro Max in the video description below. If your iPhone has a faulty logic board or is locked due to activation issues, replacing it with a new one can resolve the problem. However, it's important to note that the new logic board must be calibrated with Repair Assistant to work correctly with components like the Face ID module, main camera, back glass, battery, display, and enclosure. To complete the calibration process, you'll need the email address and Apple ID password to unlock these modules and pair them with the new logic board. During reassembly and testing, I'll demonstrate the calibration process in detail. Let's begin installing the new logic board and reassembling the iPhone. Once everything is reassembled, power on your iPhone and test all functions. Now you'll need to calibrate the logic board with the other modules to ensure full functionality. This is done using Repair Assistant. Go to Settings, then select General, and then the About section. You will see a new section, Parts and Service History. Go to it. The next screen will display a list of modules requiring calibration. Tap Restart and Finish Repair to begin using Repair Assistant. Ensure your device is connected to Wi-Fi and has over 20% battery to complete the calibration. After rebooting, you'll see the Repair Assistant. Select Continue. On the next screen, choose a Wi-Fi network. During the calibration process, you'll be prompted to enter the email address or phone number and password of the Apple account previously used to set up the iPhone. This step is necessary to unlock the modules and pair them with the new logic board. Next, proceed with camera calibration. This involves focusing the camera on several objects. The most critical part is ensuring your Wi-Fi network and internet connection are stable throughout the process. Otherwise, the calibration will fail. Once calibration is complete, select Restart iPhone to complete the repair process and continue using your iPhone. If you're unable to finish the repair with a Repair Assistant, here are some tips that can solve this problem. Make sure that your device is connected to the internet using a stable Wi-Fi connection. Make sure that your device has more than 20% battery. Restart your device and try to follow the steps again to finish the repair. Make sure the modules are installed correctly. Reconnect the modules to the logic board and try to follow the steps again. If one of your modules is from a third-party supplier, keep in mind that not all third-party manufacturers guarantee successful calibration with Repair Assistant. Even if you see a message indicating that the part is not functioning as expected, you can continue using your iPhone. However, the replacement module will have an unknown part status in the Parts and Service History section. The parts are protected by Activation Lock. If the iPhone is protected by Activation Lock and you don't have access to the previous owner's Apple account, you won't be able to calibrate the new logic board with the existing parts. In this case, you can still use the iPhone, but some modules may not function as efficiently as calibrated ones, and their status will remain as unknown part in the Parts and Service History section. Verify all modules such as Face ID, camera, buttons, charging port, microphones, sensors, and speakers are working properly. Now that we've verified everything is working, let's proceed to restore water resistance. First, remove the old adhesive tape from the iPhone's frame. Once the iPhone is opened, the adhesive tape loses its sealing properties and can no longer protect your device from water and dust. To restore water resistance, you'll need to apply new waterproof sealing tape around the frame. However, if you don't have the new adhesive tape on hand, it's best to leave the old tape in place until you're ready to replace it. Use isopropyl alcohol, 91% or higher, on a cotton swab to clean any remaining adhesive. This is important for better adhesion of waterproof sealing tape. Ensure you're applying the tape on the correct side and that it aligns precisely with the edges of the iPhone frame. Carefully position the new adhesive sealing tape around the frame. Make sure the tape aligns with the edges. Use a plastic spudger to press down the adhesive tape around the perimeter of the frame. Once the tape is in place, grab the small pull tab and peel off the front liner to expose the adhesive. Use a rubber blower to remove any dust from camera lenses for a clean, professional finish. Reconnect the back glass cable, then the battery, and secure it with screws. Press down around the edges to seal the back glass. Let's move on to restoring the sealing adhesive tape on the display. Remove the old adhesive tape from the iPhone frame and clean any remaining adhesive with isopropyl alcohol. Use isopropyl alcohol, 91% or higher, on a cotton swab to clean any remaining adhesive. Carefully align the adhesive sealing tape with the iPhone frame and press it into place with a spudger. Reconnect the display and sensor connectors and secure the brackets with screws. Press down around the screen edges to ensure a snug fit. Finally, fasten the two screws near the charging port to complete the assembly. If you found this guide helpful, give us a thumbs up and subscribe for more tech tips and guides. Visit our website for more tech insights and do-it-yourself guides. Remember, every tech challenge is an opportunity to learn and grow, and we're here to guide you. The repair is complete. Thank you for watching How-FixIT, and we'll see you next time.